Hi everyone, welcome back. I'm just going to take a second and I'm going to load our video and our comments. I am really sorry I'm running late, guys. I have a new tablet and I'm just still figuring it out. Here we go. And I'll make sure I'm completely in focus. And I'll make sure my volume is off. Here we go. I'm still getting used to this. Perfect. There we go, so I can see our comments. And I'm sorry guys for the glare today. I have the sunlight coming right through my window right now. It's about just after 12 here, Atlantic time. So I have morning and afternoon sun, and then because my window in my craft room faces east, so in the afternoon it'll be shade. Hi Lou, thanks for joining. Hi Angela, thanks for joining. So we started our cover. We gutted the book, we pulled at the pages, we covered it in fabric, and I've done mixed media with Tim Holtz Distress Oxide sprays and Seth Apter's iZinc Adaline sprays. And we did some collaging with Tim Holtz collage paper. I hope everyone can see this okay. I know I've got a bit of glare here from the sun coming in. So today what we're going to do, so I've gone ahead and I've prepped my signatures, and I decided to do 3 because 2 signatures would have been a little bit too bulky with this kit. So I've done 3. So all I did for my spine was just add in another dot to the middle. So I have perfectly even spaced spots for my signatures. And I've gone ahead and I've done stenciling. So this is what I like to do when I'm first, before I put in my actual signatures. Any stenciling that I want done towards the spine or further into, you guys will see, that I like to do it before I put my pages into the book, because you can't get into the area here once you've put your signatures right into the book. So that's why I do this first. So this is where I like to put my stenciling. So I've gone ahead and I've done all of that. And different stenciling on each page. And I've used Tim Holtz Wild Honey, Distress Ink, and I've used Vintage Photo, and several of his different stencils. So I just wanted to share that. And then actually on this page I did stenciling with Speckled Egg and his floral stencils. This one I left because it has a lot of detail. And same with this one. That just needed a little bit of, like a little something. So I've left these ones, yeah, alone. But I just added that there because it needed something. So I did that. And then, so what we want to do today, I want to go ahead and we're going to do our cover. But first, I want to cover the inside of our book and get our signatures in. So we're going to do this part first. So the first thing that I want to do is completely matte the inside. But before I do that, I have what's called a it's like a brad. Tim Holtz makes these, but this one is not Tim Holtz. So it goes on like a brad, but what it is, it's the little clip that you can hang a dangle from. For the side of your journal. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show you that. So these come in a pack for $11.99 in Canada from Amazon, and they come in silver and gold, and like an antique bronzy color, and you get 4 or 5 different colors and variations of these, and then they're $11.99 for a pack of 50. Whereas if you buy the Tim Holtz ones, they are a bit smaller. And you only get a pack of, I think, 5 or 6 in each package. And they're way more expensive than this set. in Canada. So I just wanted to share that. That's kind of my alternative for those. So what we're going to want to do is go to approximately, and I'm using Sizzix Stamper's Secret Weapon, or Sizzix, their pick tool. This is the one that I like to use for sewing in my signatures. It has a nice grip on it, so I'm not going to slip and poke myself. And it does the same thing that an awl will do. So I just wanted to share that. So I have less likelihood of hurting myself with something like this, because it has a nice grip on it. So what I like to do is figure out exactly where I'm going to put, where I want to put this. So I'm going to probably go about a quarter of an inch, a good quarter of an inch away from the top, and I want to find the approximate middle. So I'm thinking something right here will probably be perfect. So again, I'm just going to hold this securely in my hand, and then I'm going to poke exactly where I want my hole. And because I'm using Sizzix Stamper's Secret Weapon, it's easy to poke through my journal cover, if you guys can see that. And then what I like to do is kind of reinforce that hole. So I go in and kind of wiggle it, because it does need to be large to get that brad through. So it just kind of has to be, yeah, like something more like that. Okay. And then I'm going to, yeah, we're not big enough still. That's okay. So I like to put this in before I actually mat the book, and then you can mat over it. So I will show you guys this. This is kind of like next step for me. Here we go. And I'm using silver today, because I thought silver would probably go better with this book than gold. And then we can easily clip a dangle to it. So it's kind of finicky. You have to make sure that your hole into your book is nice and wide in order to be able to get that in. So I'm just going to go ahead and I just kind of play with it back and forth just until it's big enough to get it in there. And maybe even go this way too. There we go. To make sure that we have enough room to get it through there. And it's going to be a tight fit because these are quite wide. So I just wanted to share that. But it will go as soon as you play with that. See? So here we go. I have something like this, and it's nice and tight, so you can kind of adjust how you want it. And I like mine to be completely even at the top, nice and secure, and make sure that you're level, it's nice and even, and we're in there. Perfect. Then I'm going to open it up right here to the center so you guys can see this. And I'm going to go right in between here, and I'm going to push that down. And I prefer to do it this way, to push it down. But as you can see now, I'm over the top of my book. So to fix that, we're going to come over here, and we're going to just give that a slight twist. This way. Yeah. And I'm going to keep twisting this the opposite way. If you guys can see that. So then this becomes this way. Here we go. While I'm still, yeah. So that becomes this way, if you guys can see that. And this stays perfectly symmetrical that way. So I just wanted to share that. So we just have to make sure these, yeah, are parallel and stuck down. There. And then we're still vertical on this side. So it's just a matter of manipulating that so it sits completely flat on both sides. So you just have to adjust that. So I just wanted to share that. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab a piece of washi tape. Like this. And I'm going to completely cover that. So that just secures it down for me, and it's not going to poke through. There we go. And now we can go ahead and we can mat our book. Now over here, I have a page of Tim Holtz. I believe this is from Memoranda, his ledger papers. And we're just going to grab a pencil, figure out. So I don't measure, guys, I just eyeball, because again, the measurement is different on every book. I like to leave about a 1/4 of an inch on the sides and 1/8 of an inch along the spine. So we'll gauge the bottom first. So if that is our 1/4 of an inch, sorry guys, 1/4 of an inch right about here, then I'm going to go 1/8 of an inch from here. So I know that I want to cut this exactly here for that to be perfect. So I have a nice dark line of where I want to cut it. And then what I want to do is pull it down and figure out exactly where I want it this way, right about here. Okay, so I'm going to take my paper trimmer right here. There we go. And I'm going to cut it here. There we go. And then I'm going to turn it this way. And I'm going to cut it here. And I keep all my scraps. I use them for different things. So essentially, our panel is going to look like this. And then for the second one, it's super easy. We just have to duplicate it. So I like it probably better here. And I just line it up like this. So we're perfect. And I make my little tick here. And I make my little tick here. And I just cut it at the 2 points. And then I'll have 2 panels that are exactly the same. So that's my little way around that. Yeah, right here. One. And line it all up. And 2. There we go. So then, see, this little string's bothering me. I have a little string here. That's okay, there we go. 1 and 2. That was kind of bothering me. Sorry, guys. Okay. And right here will be the first one. And then right here will be the second one. So I really like that, if you guys can see. So now I'm going to take Fabri-Tac, because anytime that I'm gluing anything to fabric, or if I want anything to have a really good stick, I'm going to use Beacon Fabri-Tac. You can use 3-in-1, any PVA glue, any fabric glue. It's whatever your preference is. This is just the one that I really like. And I like it because it gives me a really good stick. And a quick stick, I don't have to hold things down, wait for things to dry. Fabri-Tac is one of my favorite products to use in terms of gluing things down and a really good stick. Not only can I glue fabric with this, but I can also glue resin pieces, metal, anything that I want to go permanently down. that I don't ever plan to pull back up. The only thing you can't do, you have to be mindful that Fabri-Tac eats plastic. So if you're going to glue something plastic, it will eat it. Like, it'll melt it. So I just wanted to share that. And be careful with your glass media mat from Tim Holtz, guys, because it will eat a hole in your mat for inking. Like the ink mat that comes with it. That's why you don't see mine on my desk. I have a replacement. So if I'm using my Fabri-Tac, I don't have that anywhere near my desk, because it ate a hole in my other one. There we go. So, and we just want to make sure, see, once we tip this up, there's going to be, I have a little bit more than an eighth of an inch gap, and I'm happy with that, because I want to have a nice gap, if you guys can see that, between the edge of the cardstock and the edge of my book, so that we're still going to get a really good crease without interference. But that's not going to matter, because we're going to cover that with our spine. And I'll show you what I mean by that, because we're going to add other stuff to it. Here we go. And we can get this next panel in. And I just like a good amount on here like that, and right here, and we're gonna go again about 1/4 of an inch from all sides right here. There we go. And I just give that a good stick down, and you have to make sure that your glue lid's going back on here immediately. So actually I'll need that handy. There we go. And the other thing that we're going to do here's our spine. And no, these are not long enough. Let's see what else we have here. I have this one, and I kind of like the ledger kind of look of it here. So this is what we're going to do. So now I'm going to take my Fabri-Tac. So this side is going to be our side down, and this is our side up that we're going to see. So now I'm going to take Fabri-Tac and I'm going to put it all along here. Because I like to mat this with a layer of cardstock. It's going to give this some more support, as well as like a decorative feature. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to line this all up perfectly. So that goes right to the edge. Yeah. Make sure I have a good stick, and you might even want to take your bone folder just to make sure you've got that nice edge. There we go. So we're all stuck down. And then I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to completely cut it out. Here we go. So then we look something like that. So that's what our spine's going to look like. But now what I like to do, you can either take, oh, see, and I forgot a step, guys. Sorry. To put our closure on. Alright, let's see if we can Haha. Sorry guys, my bad. Yeah. Okay. Actually, you know what? I'll show you this way. That's okay. We can just improvise. I'll put that back down. Okay. So if this happens and you completely forget, like I just did, where you want to add a closure to your book, I like to do mine out of fabric pieces. So this one here is like an eyelash trim. And it's funny because it's actually two different patterns when you get like halfway through it. So I want to do one part of the book in this one. So this will be one side here. I'm just going to cut it right here. And then the other side is this other sort of eyelash trim, like eyelet trim over here. And I just want to, there we go. We'll make them even. And I'll give that a snip over here. Okay. So then what I'm going to do, I would usually mat this underneath whatever I'm doing here. This can be fabric. This can be cardstock. This can be kind of whatever you want. So what I want to do then is I want to attach my, and it's fine because we can mat a pocket or something over this so you won't see this. So we can still improvise this. So I'm going to go ahead and see, this kind of gives me a grid. So this is kind of great. I can already see where the center is. So I'm super happy with it to go here, because I'm using almost like a grid paper, if you guys can see. And then I can just come in and put down my closure. There we go. And this is going to tie up the back of the book. And then this is going to tie up the front of the book. And again, I just want to make sure that it's symmetrical on both sides. So we're just going to, yeah, and the little grid spot over here. So again, I just want to make sure it's going to be the same. See? And we're perfect. It can be right in the center, it can be off-centered, just as long as we have the approximate spot of exactly where we want it. And again, I probably pull that in a little bit more. There we go. So now I just flip this back and I can fabric tack it right here. Sorry guys, I almost forgot that step. And then here, there we go. Okay, and then pull this back and fabric tack it here. And it's okay, we can mat pockets or something over that. So you don't see this closure part, we'll have something over top of it here that'll be some sort of a tuck or something. Okay, now that we have, see, and then when we have it all together, it's going to go like this, and we're going to be able to tie these. So that's going to be perfect. So I'll move those right out of my way now. Oops. Yeah, oh, there we go. Right out of the way. There we go. You guys can see what I'm doing. So now we have our spine. So now what we're going to want to do, we're going to come in like this, and we're going to take our awl, or our Sizzix Stamper Secret Weapon, or again our craft pick. We're going to flip this over, and we're going to hold it securely like this so you don't poke yourself. This is really important. And you want to make sure when you're poking the holes for your signature, there we go, so you guys can see, we want to make sure that they are going to be completely straight and even across here. So you want to make sure that they 100% line up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And for this, we're going to be doing a 3-hole pamphlet stitch. So there I have my holes perfectly on this side of where my signatures are going to be sewn to, and we're essentially sewing them to the wrong side, if that makes sense. Now I'm going to take a piece of cheesecloth or muslin fabric or a scrap piece of fabric, whatever you have handy. I have some cheesecloth at my desk, so this is just what I'm going to use right now, and it kind of is going to give me a really neat effect. So I'm going to cut myself a piece. I have a great big huge thing of it here too. I order mine from Amazon, just unbleached cheesecloth. My fabric tack lid back on. Okay, and it doesn't have to be perfect because I'm going to show you. So I want a piece that's probably just over 2 inches, I would think. And again, we're just gonna, okay, it's not going to work. They're going to make me cut it. Okay. Usually with muslin fabric, you can tear it. This one doesn't want to tear. That's okay, and it doesn't have to be perfect. I just want it essentially the length of the journal. And it can stick out a little bit too, that will give it a little character. Doesn't have to be the full length of my journal. Alright, and just a little bit more. My Tim Holtz scissors are my very favorite scissors for cutting fabric. I find them versatile and you can pretty much cut anything with them. There we go. And then what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to fray this. So I like to fray the daylights out of my cheesecloth. So it looks tattered, it looks old, it looks worn. You can dye it. If you're not happy with this whitish kind of color, you can add coffee to it, to coffee dye it. You can distress it. I like to dye my fabrics if they're white, and I will do a 50-50 blend in a tiny little, like a little, what do you call it, like a medicine kind of bottle type thing, and I will do a 50-50 of either distress ink or oxide spray and rubbing alcohol, or you can use re-inker or whatever, and then you just soak your fabric in it, pull it all out, squeeze it, like squeeze the stuff out of it, and then put it to dry. Especially in this heat when, you know, it's 34 degrees outside. It's very quickly to dry any fabric or paper that you want to dye. So I just wanted to share that. So that is something that you can do. And it's something that I do often. And that's all you need to do to dye it. There we go. So I've got some nice stringy bits hanging. Alright, and we're going to attach this into our journal like this. But first we're going to attach this. So I'm going to move this. I'll show you guys. And we're going to attach our spine right to here. So this can be done with cheesecloth. It can be done with muslin fabric. Just about anything. Actually, before I do that, and the other thing that I want to do, I'll show you. This is just to fancy it up a little bit. So I'm going to turn that over. I have some really nice lace trims here. They're like a crocheted kind of trim. You guys can see that. So what I like to do is something a little bit more fancy. So as I'm gluing this down, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to glue this down. And we're going to do one side at a time. So let's actually start and make sure that we're the right side up. Yeah, it's going to go this way. Perfect. Okay, so the first half is going to go here. All right. Okay. If you guys can see. We want to find approximately the center. So we're looking at something that's going to look like that. And with your fabric tack, you need to be quick. going to put that down right here. Okay. So we have essentially something that looks like that. And then I'm going to come up here and I'm going to snip this right along here. Yep. And the same thing for this side. There we go. I got that nice and frayed. And then for here, and we have the right side and the wrong side. Yep, like that. And to make it easier, you could measure it out and cut it beforehand, if that's easier for you. Like this. And then it's perfect. And then you just, at the back, and we're going to come in, Fabri-Tac, right like that. And we're going to put this right along the edge, like that. Sorry guys, I don't know if you can see. I'll move up. And this is just a nice way to fancy up your spine. There we go. And then I just make sure that I'm all nice and tacked down. So essentially we're going to look like this. Whoop. See, I got a little spot here. There we go. And we could probably do a little row there just to glue our, our muslin, or not our muslin, sorry, our cheesecloth down. There we go. So then we're left with something that looks like this. So if you feel like one side is longer than the other, you can always like see, so I love this. This looks great. We've got raggedy bits going on here, and we've got a nice flow. So I want to probably take this down just a little bit, but enough that I can still fray my edge. So let's do something like that. Here we go. And then I can just fray it all. Yep, like this. Perfect. And then maybe these little extra pieces we can just pull. There. So I'm really happy with that, guys. So that's our spine. Doesn't have to be straight and perfect, because I'll show you. It's gonna go right in here like this. So this is the part that needs to be perfect. This part right here, and as you can see, we're going to get a really nice a tuck and stick down, and it just gives us that little something between our signatures and between our book pages. So even if it's not straight on both sides, I mean, if that really bothered you, you could trim it down further, make it perfect. I'm not worried, guys. It's a junk journal. But at the same time, I can be a bit of a perfectionist, so I'm trying to get away from that. So if it's not perfect and it bothers you, then, you know, absolutely, if you want to trim it up. But don't feel like you have to. And you're not really going to even be able to tell that once it's all in anyways. So I'm really happy with how that looks. And I think it would probably be worse if it was fabric. But because it's the cheesecloth, I can live with that. Now, we want to sew in our signatures. So you can use wax thread. My preference, though, guys, is crochet thread. So I use just, you know, regular crochet thread that you're going to find at Walmart or any sort of store like that, your craft stores. I'm not sure about where to get this in the UK, but for us in Canada and the United States, it would be like Hobby Lobby, Walmart, Michael's, or any place kind of like that. So any place that's like a sewing section of a store. So I just wanted to share that. I use a fairly large needle to go through it, and I double it. So basically I have one string on one side, one on the other, and I do not tie a knot in the end. So as you guys can see, my end does not have a knot. And then I have a tail that's a little longer than the other. So I just wanted to share that. Aw, thanks, Lou. Yep, so you guys can get it at the Range, Hobbycraft, or Poundland. Perfect. So I wanted to share too, because there's different ways of doing your doing your spine. So for this one here, it's called a hidden spine, because this one here we're actually creating like a faux spine. So we're going to sew our signatures to this spine, and then we're going to attach this spine into our book. So for a beginner, this is probably one of the more user-friendly and easiest ways to learn how to make a junk journal, opposed to stitching into the back of your book. Because when we do that, if your stitches aren't straight, it affects how the back of the book looks. So I just wanted to share that. So this is a very forgiving way to start. And I'm going to show, as we go along, different methods of different ways to sew in your signatures. I'll do some different books, different ways. I won't show you guys the same book every time. So every time we do a book, it'll be something different. So I just wanted to share that. Also, before I forget, I want to take a second and I want to let everyone know, anyone who makes a book using my method and they post it into group, into junk journals and mindful mixed media art, into this group, I'm going to give everyone the deadline of August 30th. And I want you to use the hashtag Fifi's tutorial. That'd be a good thing to remember. Hashtag Fifi's tutorial. And then I can keep track of everyone who posts. So anyone who makes a book, on September 1st, I'm going to do a giveaway. So everyone has until the 30th of August, to post into group your finished journal. September 1st, I will do a giveaway, and everybody who completes this project and does a journal with a hidden spine, use the hashtag Fifi's book, or Fifi's tutorial. I'll leave that up to Lou. Maybe Fifi's book. We'll do that. Fifi's book. So here, I'll grab a pen, guys, and we'll go with that. Hashtag Fifi's book. And we'll do that for a group hashtag. So everyone has until, I'll say that again, yeah, August, I believe it's the 30th, the last day of the month, okay, we'll go with that. The last day of August, and then September 1st, I'm going to do a giveaway. So everyone who completes the book, your name's going to go into a draw, and I will select one winner from that group of people who completes the book, and you will get a free digital kit from my Etsy shop. And you get to go to my shop and select which kit, and I will send you the files. So that's how we're going to do that. So I'm going to have all kinds of fun little things that we're going to do. And anyone can participate in this. You can be anywhere in the world, because I don't have to ship anything. So you can be in the UK, you can be in Canada, you can be in Europe, you can be overseas, anywhere. So it doesn't matter. So everyone in group can participate in this. And I hope everyone participates. It'll be a lot of fun. So I just wanted to share that. So expect that during my videos, guys. I'll do for my projects and different things, I'm going to do little pop-up giveaways and different things. I'm not sure how to do a discount code from my shop for Etsy. I'm not sure how to do that. So instead, I just try to give everyone the best prices in my shop. And I charge $10 Canadian for a digital kit that's 34 pages. And I do have two kits that are around, they're somewhere between 24 and 28 pages. And those ones are $5 in my shop. So instead of doing that, I just run a lot of giveaways. And I give away free kits. So I just wanted to share that. So now we're going to do the same thing with our actual signatures. So we know that this one goes first, and this one goes second, and this one goes third. So this is how we're going to do this, guys. We have 1, 2, 3. So on your spine, the first hole here is going to have your first signature here. The second hole is going to have your second signature here. And the third hole will have your third signature there. So I just wanted to share that. That's how we're going to sew those in. Now I'm going to open up my desk, because this is where I use a ton of clips, and I use a ton of paper clips. So this is for me why it's so important to have like a stash of this stuff. So here we go. We are going to open this up to the center signature. And the other thing I wanted to share too, when I'm putting together a signature, I like to do, so this is the first one, guys. Make sure all of our pages are the right way up. I've done stenciling in between our pages, like that. And then when we get to the center, I like to take a page and fold it the wrong way. So instead of folding it outwardly, I fold it inwardly, so that my center signature looks like that. And then also it gives me a full 2 pages between here and here to do something bigger. Maybe I want a bigger image to go across the 2 pages, or I want something that folds in or folds out. So this is where I like to do that. So then I put those together like that. So here's the first one. We're going to line everything up, make sure all of our edges are perfect, and then we're going to start paper clipping and binder clipping and putting everything together. Here we go. So right here. Oh, and you want to stay away from the spine. Sorry, guys. Yeah, stay away from the spine. Okay, over here. And my favorite is probably 5 to 8 pages per signature. I just find you get a nicer, like a nicer stitch together. The more pages I find, like when you get into 10, 14 pages in a signature, it's hard to get them all to sit flat. And then you have pages that are kind of not sewn in there together evenly, if that makes sense. So I just wanted to share that. You don't have to just use kit pages. I am just for the sake of this tutorial, but you can, absolutely, you can use anything. You can use scrapbooking paper, you can use ledger, you can use like your lined paper, copy paper, anything that you print. A digital kit doesn't have to be a kit, it can be a picture that you like. You can tip things in. I'm going to show you, so the whole point too, guys, once we have this tutorial together of the book, then each time I'm live, I'm going to show you a new ephemera piece that we can put in here. So different ways to put tip-ins, different ways to do all kinds of different things. So we have like, we're going to basically build this journal together right from scratch. So I just wanted to share that. So that is something that we're going to do. And then, so this is our first signature. It's all together here. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my spine like this, and I'm going to line this up exactly like that. So we can see, so if you guys can see that, right like this, we are going to line this up. And then we can mark exactly where we're going to have our holes. Pencil. Here we go. So again, right here. Right here. And right there. So we know for the first one, And because our thing's together, we can just go right ahead. And we're poking in on the, right along the spine. So right on the spine of where we're putting signatures in. And that's where we're going to put them, right here. 1, 2, and 3. That's just a crease, guys, sorry. 1, 2, 3. Right like that. And as you guys can see, our holes are going to line up perfectly to here. If you guys can see that. Oh, that was the second signature. Yeah, right to here. Okay. And here's our first one. So same thing, guys. We have, and we want to make sure all of our pages are the right way up. We don't have anything upside down. And there's my center fold. Okay. So I just like a little bit of stenciling of where I know that I want it. Like, see, it's just right along my spines, right? Because that's the area that you can't get to once your book is together. The rest of it you can. You can stamp, you can do anything while it's all flat. So that's what I like to do first, my stamping and my stenciling. Okay, so and that's what we're going to do for the summer, guys. I'm going to be live every 2 weeks. I just have a lot of doctor's appointments and things to take care of over the next 6 weeks before the kids are back to school. I have 3 children with special needs, so I just wanted to share that. And we have a lot of appointments for myself, my husband, my kids, so we have just so many things coming up. So once every 2 weeks is going to be good for me over the summer, and then I can move it to every Wednesday starting in September. So I just wanted to share that. Every Tuesday or Wednesday, whatever works. We'll figure it out. Yeah. There we go. There. So again, we just make sure our signatures are all together, and we're going to clip everything. Here we go. I'm happy, guys. My new tablet's working well. I can see all my comments all coming in. Thank you so much, everyone, for your wonderful comments. I really appreciate it. Okay. There's our second one, our first one, and then this will be our third one here. Here we go. And I'd like to just get these in today. So then this is done. Okay. And everyone has until the end of August to make one and post it. There we go. Oh, I'm sorry, Julie. I wasn't able to go live in the event. I'm not even sure how to do that. So I just go live in the group. And I was running a couple minutes late because I had to find everything on my new tablet. Scroll through menus and stuff. There we go. And there's our final one here. So then, yeah, like that. 1, 2, and 3. So now I can put the book aside, so I'm not confusing you guys. There we go. And then what we're going to want to do is line everything up. So we have our second signature is done. Here's the first one. The other way to do this too is to line it all up right like this to your second signature, if that makes sense. So if you want it more precise and you don't want to eyeball it, this is the other way to do it. So this is signature number 1. So we're essentially going to put our hole through here, if you guys can see. So it's perfect. And we're going to line this up to our book. And then we know, sorry guys, I bumped that. And then we know right from here that this is going to be where our first hole is going to go. Right here. And just line it up. So it's perfect. Okay. Yeah, right there. And we line it up. So that one's perfect. And same thing here, the second one. Our spine's there. Right here. Right here. And then the top one. Line it up. Yep, that's perfect. There we go. And then we close that one. That's our first one. The second one's done. The holes might be a little bit wonky on that one, so we'll just have to double check, so I'll show you that too. And then here's our third one. Right here. So 1, 2, 3. And we're going to line these up here. Like this. So this is probably a better method. Here we go. Oops. Yeah. Right there is perfect. Okay. And then right here. Okay. And then right there. Okay. Now we're going to take our crochet thread and we're going to do a 3-hole pamphlet stitch. So now we're going to take our spine, and we're going to start out with the first signature. Here we go. So signature number 1, and we have it all together, and we have our holes poked, and essentially we're going to go down the center. Okay, so poke our hole down the center. Okay, and this is super important. We want to leave a tail. Okay, so I like to leave approximately this for a tail. Maybe even a little shorter. That's probably good. A little bit of a tail. Because I attach charms to these, and this just kind of gives your book some character, and they'll hang out the bottom of your book. And then I like to, okay, so then we're going to secure this. So we're going to pull that tight. So now we're at the back. We're going to take our spine, and we're going to come through the first one. So this is where the first signature is going. Remember, 1, 2, 3. So 1. And we're going through this to the back. Right like that. Okay. Then we're going to take our needle and we're going to go up. So we're going to go from the center up to the next hole. So we're going to go to the back of our spine. And again, we want to make sure we're not going through all this. See, and I did that. Whoops. That's okay. If you make a boo-boo, we just undo it. It's no big deal. Here we go. I've gone through Here, that's okay. This is just the decorative part of where the stitching is. There we go. So you don't want to go through the sides of this part here, if that makes sense. You want to go straight through here. There we go. So just be careful not to stitch over here like I just did. Anyways, I fixed that. That's okay. Here we go. I want you guys to be able to see. So now I'm going to take my needle and I'm going to go to the top. So I'm going to come out the bottom like this. So now it looks like that. So I've gone through here, through the book, and I'm coming back through. Okay? So yeah, right like that. And it's going to look like this. Where I have one stitch between here and here. Okay? Then I'm going to come through the book, back to this side, and I want to pull everything tight. Oh, and I've just pulled it all out. Alright, here guys. That happens too. First hole. Here we go. Over here. It happens until we secure this down. Okay. Here we go. So to secure this down, again where our tail is, we can bring it over here and we can tuck it into a paper clip. There, I hope I'm making sense, guys. Okay, here we go. That's better. Alright. So, we've gone through here. This is our tail. And I tucked it up to a paper clip. I've gone through here. We're at the back. We've gone through the first hole, up to where the second hole is, back through the book. And when we secure this, now, it's going to be tight to here. There we go. Okay, there we go. All right, so yeah, in and out. Once the first one is secure, the rest will be easier. Then what we're going to do is we're going to come back. So we're at the top, we're going to come through the middle and then to the bottom. So we're going to go through the middle this way, from in here to here. And we're going to go through the center of, so if you guys can see, we're going through both. We're going through the book and we're going through the hidden spine. So right to here, like that. And then we're coming over here to this side, again, through our spine and through the center of our book, right like this. Make sure that's all untucked. And then I want to pull through the bottom of my tail. There we go. And I can slide it up like that. Okay, and then once we're secure, you can do this once and you can tie it here. But when I'm doing anything with more than one signature, I like to reinforce it. So I'm going to do it twice. So instead of coming through and tying the book off like this, like you would normally do in a one signature book, I like to do it twice. So instead of tying it there, I'm just going to go down, back through just like I did the first one. So essentially I'm just repeating the process. So again, I'm going down. Okay. I'm going back up. I'm going back down. Through the center, back down this way through the bottom. Now before I tie anything off, I want to go to the back, make sure I'm secure. I don't have any knots, I don't have any tangles, and everything looks good and I'm secure. And I'm in the right holes. So again, I'm not sure what happened here, but I need to, I need to fix and pull that just so I'm tight. Here we go. Because we don't want it to come loose later. See that? If you've got something compromised, later you'll have a problem. And we don't want that. So pull everything nice and tight. I'm not even sure what's causing that. I might have to pull this one. There we go. It's this one here that I had to pull. See? Okay. There we go. So that's better. And again, we're going to pull this one tight. So that we make sure that we're completely secure, we're completely tight, and we're on there. So I'm really happy with that. And we check both sides, 1 and 2, and we're good to go. And again, we're the right way up. And everything's good. And once we confirm that, we can tie it off. So now, I'm going to take my thread, and I'm going to come up here, in between these two, if you guys can see that. In between here and here. I'm going to pull this through. So I'm tight here. There we go. And I'm going to pull this cord here from the paper clip, and I'm going to tie a double knot. Once I know everything's safe and secure on there. And there's my double knot. There we go. And then I'm going to tie this signature and cut it the same length. So that is our first one, guys. And now these are done. And what I like to do is just pull these all off. This is my little hack that I like to do. It just makes my life easier when I'm trying to sew my signatures in. So my cords are here, and I'm going to put the book together, and I'm going to take a paper clip and I'm going to clip them together like that. So then I don't have them flopping all over the place while I'm trying to sew in the next part of the signature. So this is the first one. So we make sure that the first one that we wanted is on the first on the first one here. And then the second one's going to be on the second. So again, I think maybe one of these might be off just a little bit. No, see, we're all right. I'm not really off. It's okay. All right, that'll be perfect. It's if they're way off, it matters. Let me see here. Okay. Here we go. So again, I just wanted to shift this down so I have a tail and make sure that I'm doubled at the front, like at the top. And then same thing, guys, we're going to go down to the middle and and we made sure everything's all straight and everything's in here perfectly. So we're going to go down through the middle like this, right like that. And again, we're going to take our tail and we're going to tuck it up here to our paper clip. And we'll pull it tight like that. And then on our spine, we're coming through the second signature here. So we're going to sew. Oh, and I don't know if I explained, guys, a signature is basically a group of pages. And all books are sewed in like that, in terms of little groupings of pages. So that's what I'm referring to when I say a signature. It's basically our little grouping of pages. And they can be anything. They can be ledger and scrapbooking papers. They can be copy papers that we coffee dye, tea dye, or eco dye, or ink up and stamp up and do mixed media on, or they could be book pages, they could be anything. So I just wanted to share that. There's no rules in junk journals. You can put anything in them. It can be the same size in terms of pages, but they don't have to be. You can do things all in different sizes, different widths and thicknesses. So it's up to you guys what you're comfortable with. I like anywhere from 6 to 8 pages in a signature. because I just find this, especially when I'm teaching, I find this to be more comfortable to work with in terms of keeping things together, keeping things flat, keeping things symmetrical. Once you get into 10, 13 pages, I find it's more difficult to get your pages to sit flat and together. So if you're doing things that are all different widths and thicknesses, it doesn't matter. But in terms of me teaching, I prefer 6 to 8. But so it's just personal preference. So whatever, you know, if you really needed, if you were really in love with, say, 10 pages that you wanted to put in a signature for a journal that you're making that had like a specific theme or whatever, I would say go for it. But in terms of me teaching, I just think this is just, I just think 6 to 8 is better. It's easier. I'm going to make less mistakes, and I'm going to make, so for me, you know, to have that preference, it's just going to make it easier for me to show you. But by all means, if you want to do a journal that's more, like you know, 10, 13 pages, go for it. It's just, it's more difficult to get things to line up. So if it's the first journal that you're making, I would highly recommend your first journal being maybe 1 or 2 signatures, and keep it to 6 to 8 pages, or even 10 for 1 signature. But I would, if you're doing multiple signatures, I'd keep it to about 6 to 8. It's just going to make it easier for you to line everything up and for everything to sit flat. Because when you use a lot of pages, it's not going to sit flat, and you're going to run into difficulty getting things in. So I just wanted to share that. So again, I'm going to go from here, and I'm going to go up to the top here, and then we're going to go right through here. There we go. Make sure that's nice and secure, and we are tight to the book. There we go. And then I'm going to go from the top back down to the middle, right here. Here we go. Like that. And then I'm going to go down to the bottom. And I'm going to go here, like that. There we go. Make sure we're nice and tight. Excellent. And then we're going to go back through the center. Oh. Yep. Through the center. Come on. There we go. So we're back through the center, and then we're going back. Yeah, we've gone this way, back through the center. Okay, top to the center. Okay, yeah, now we're going to the bottom. So that would be here. Yeah, right like this. There we go. Sometimes it's finicky, and you just have to, yeah. There we go. And I want to pull that up. And then we're going, so we have our 1 there and 1 here. And then now that we've done double, we're going to go back to the center here. And before I tie this off, I want to make sure everything's nice and tight. I have a little extra piece of stuff there. So again, I'm going to flip it over and make sure that we're all nice and tight here, and everything's good to go. Yeah, and so far it looks good. If you guys can see that. Everything looks good here. We're all sewed into the second signature. Yeah. And now I can pull it tight, and we can tie it off. Here we go. So we're nice and tight there. And again, we're going to do a single knot here, like that. pull it tight, and we're going to do a double knot. Whoops. 1, 2. There we go. And same thing, guys, we're going to pull it to about here, and we're going to cut it. And then I can pull all of my clips off. There we go. Pull all of our clips off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There we go. Once we have them all off, then we can put our signature together. So as you guys can see now, we are starting to take shape. So this is how it looks. So, and I like, if you guys can see that, a nice gap in between my signatures, because I like to make things like folios and different things, and this gives me a space to put them in where I'm not going to damage my spine. So I just wanted to share that. That's the method behind my madness, and it gives me room to bulk up my pages. So I want super bulky ephemera pieces. I can do that. I can do that without it affecting my spine. So I just wanted to share that. And then here, there we go. So as you can see, that's how that's going to look with my little pieces dangling. One's longer than the other, it's fine. They're going to be like again, with charms and things dangling. And then our third signature. So then 1, 2, and then the last one makes 3. I'm just going to pull that. There we go. And then we can go ahead and sew in our third one. So again, I just like to take one big paper clip and hold the whole thing together. I could even take 2 if I was worried about it moving. Just like that. There we go. And here's our third one. So nothing moves. And again, we're going to go through the center, right down the center of this one. And I'm going to pull that a little bit more because I might have enough here to do my last signature. And yeah, I should. There we go. And I have that secure here. And then this is going to go through here. There we go. Right through the center here. And then I'm going to stitch it up towards the top here. And I'm going to come through this part of my signature. Whoops. See, I need a little extra wool. We want to make sure that we're going through our original wool. Here we go. And we're going to make sure that's nice and tight. And see, I almost lost my thread. There we go. Whoops. There. Excellent. Okay. So we're nice and tight here. Then we're coming back through the middle. Right here. Through the middle. There we go. And again, we just want to make sure that we're pulling this so we're not catching it anywhere. And then we're going to go through the back. So for this one, I'm not going to have enough room to do it twice. And that's okay. It's the final signature in the back. So I'm just going to bring it to here, and then I can tie it right off. So as you guys can see, I just have to make sure that everything is nice and tight. I prefer doing 2, but if you've only got that last little bit to do 1, it's no big deal. It's usually the first and the second signatures that I like to have reinforced anyways. There, and we're all lined up and we're all perfect and we're in here. So now I can pull off all my paper clips. There we go. and we can get our signature into our book, our hidden spine. Sorry guys, this was a little long today. I usually like to keep my videos to an hour so I'm not on forever, but this does take a long time and it's finicky. So, you know, I find that when you slow down and you take your time when you're doing this part of the book, it just turns out better. So I just like to take my time, and however long it takes me, and that's just how I do that. So I mean, this has turned out perfect. I'm super happy with this, guys. So I just wanted to share that. And as you guys can see, and then once we add it to here, it's going to be so beautiful. Because, I mean, at first your book doesn't look like much. It looks like a hot mess. But once it all comes together, you guys will see it is just so beautiful. And it doesn't matter how much cheesecloth you have on either side. It just turns out so nice. So now what we're going to do, I'm going to make sure I have all these little strings gone. We're going to take our Fabri-Tac again, because this is my favorite glue for anything that you want to permanently seal, permanently stick down. And you don't have to worry about it coming loose. Some people like to use double-sided tape for their spines. I prefer the fabric glue because it is not ever going to come loose. You can fabric a pair of jeans in half, like, you know, like to do a hem, and you can throw them in the wash, and this glue is not going to budge. So to me, that's why I like this glue, and none of my journals have ever come apart. And as you guys can see, I'm going over all of everything. I'm going over that fabric, I'm going over the washi tape, I'm going over my original spine, and I'm going over that tape that we have, that Tyvek tape or packing tape. It's kind of the same. So if it's not like a fabric tape, then I like to do a piece of fabric like this. So now I just want to make sure that I'm nice, like this, nice. And we're secure, and we're putting this in the right way. So again, this is the front of the book. Everything's good to go. And we're going to drop our signature right in here. And again, guys, make sure that you have play for about 30 seconds, if that, with this glue. It's not much play, but it's enough play that you can move it where you need to quickly and make sure that you can still close your book. And everything is where it's supposed to be without bending, binding, or sliding. And we're going to have to hold that in place. So this is the one thing you're going to have to hold for a minute, just to make sure that you have a good enough stick that you're not coming up. See, I've got that shifting at the top. It's because of my little thing that we attached. That's okay. I expect that. Okay. And we have a really good stick. And that's all going to sit flat and in there. Okay. And it's not affecting anything. Alright. And then, I just like to hold this. There we go. And just reinforce that just a little bit. There we go. My lace trims I find on Amazon. You can find them at your local like charity shops or your thrift stores. My muslin I order from Amazon. Sometimes even your dollar stores. This one, I think this trim here is from the dollar store. So just, yeah, have a look around, guys, and see what you can find. This one wasn't much money either. I think these were $10 from Amazon for both. And I have like this beautiful crocheted one, and I have this one. So I'm really happy with that. Here we go. I just want to make sure that we're gonna stick. Now, and then everything's sitting nice and flat too, so I'm really happy with that. I can pull these out. And then I want to come back in with the fabric tack, and I want to, see, I've already got, there we go. So over here, I can glue this part here down, and I can glue all of this. And then we're not going to move. There we go. Yeah, and get right under here. See, I don't have, sometimes you just need to reinforce things. There we go. And that'll be a better stick. So again, I just double check everything, and then wherever I feel like something needs to be stuck down, I can pull it and stick it down. And see, I've lost my cheesecloth under there. There we go. That's better. That's what the problem was. Perfect. And then even if I want to, yep, glue down your bits. It just gives it that little something. And this dries clear, so you won't even see it. There we go. And then over here, same thing. This was shorter than that side, so that's okay. Yep. And it doesn't matter if one side's a little longer than the other. It just gives you that little bit of something. And I like how the lace turned out there. And here. And same thing. See, I'm glued better on this side than I was on the back. And same thing if I want to add this here and then glue down my bits. Like that. There we go. And the Tim Holtz strip was just to give you some, like some color and texture between the signatures, because I don't like that ugly manila folder look between it. It just gives it something. You can do that with fabric, you can do it with anything. I like the thick cardstock because then it gives you more density to your spine, and then it'll help reinforce it. So I just wanted to show you guys, and then as you can see, my tension's good. Right? My book closes. Everything's pretty much symmetrical, top and bottom, because we measured everything. And then here's the closure, and that's what it's going to look like once it's done. But I mean, it's going to be an alligator mouth once we book up our pages, and we're going to have this beautiful bow hanging from here. And then you can display it like that. And then we have this one here for a dangle. And again, if it's not straight, just straighten it. There we go. So I'm super happy with that so far. Whoops. So that's it for today, guys. And I will be back in 2 weeks, as I mentioned. And we will, in 2 weeks, we will start, what are we doing? Oh, we're doing the cover. So for the next one, I have a zipper here. And I have all kinds of Tim Holtz die cuts. I have them in all different flowers. And I have wildflower stems, 1 and 2, and I think there's some other ones I have here too, and that I've die cut, and we'll glue them together and then put them on our journal cover. And then I have this one here that I've cut down, and I want to, I've reinforced it to cardstock, so I have more of a texture. So I basically printed another page from the journal. This is one of the ones from the second signature, so I want to put the birds on the cover. So we're going to do like a kind of thing like this, where it's going to be like that, and it's going to open up with the birds. And then we're going to cut away everything else and add some laces and different things to the cover. So I just wanted to share that. That's kind of where I'm going with this. So I'll be back next time. And then I'm going to show you too how to put together all the ephemera pieces from the kit. So some of these I'm going to, like the tags and the journaling cards. So those are all the tags. There we go, the journaling cards, the postcards that I've done. I'm going to back those up to cardstock so that we can, and I'm going to sew around them so we can write on them. But these ones here, like the little pockets and different things, I'm going to show you how to cut those out and use them. So we'll do that in the next video. So I just wanted to share that, and then we'll finish decorating our cover, and then we can start with some ephemera pieces. Oh, thank you so much, everyone. I really appreciate it. So again, I'm Fifi McLeod on Facebook and Fifi the Paper Crafter across social media. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and my shop is Fifi's Digital Designs, all one word, on Etsy. And my group is Fifi the Paper Crafters Creative Community. So I just wanted to share that. And yeah, I'll see everybody back in 2 weeks. Thank you so much, everyone. You guys have a fabulous day, and I will see you soon. Bye.